Nityanam. This is Ma Nitya Sarvamangalananda, bringing Paramsa Nityananda Swamiji's blessings to all of you. Today, I actually wanted to answer some questions from some viewers or from Facebook friends, or I should say contacts. One of the questions that I've been getting quite often um, is human God? Um, and actually, there's two parts. I'm going to break it up into two-part question. So the question actually is, how can you believe human is God? So I wanted to address it very properly in this way. One, I want to break it up and say, can human be God? And then the second part is whether I worship human as God. So talking about the first question, seems a common knowledge actually. There are various theories regarding whether human is God, God is what, and all that. But according to our scriptures, our what the Vedas and the Puranas, what we have received from our ancient rishis, and also if you look at the latest, considered new age spirituality or revival of the more truer component of religion, which is spiritual, not just the religious aspect or the administrative aspect, which a lot of people assume to be religion in entirety. It is not. Religion is meant to, it has two parts. The most important part is the spiritual part. The other part, which is external, administrative, all of those are just meant to facilitate the other component, which is spiritual growth for every individual, for every being on this planet. So, if you look at any tradition, any ancient tradition, whether it is in the Americas, Europe, or any other Africa, even besides India, any other tradition, if you look at it, you will find that they worship nature. Their concept of God was much more vaster. It was more related to the manifest and unmanifest forms, very much like what we were led to believe was our own Hindu religion. But the deeper aspects of the truth of spirituality that our scriptures have given us, our enlightened masters have given us, and all our traditions, our darshanas have told us is, we are sons of immortality. We are the inheritors of the cosmos. We are not some sinners. We are not just mere human beings living, spending some time here. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And the purpose of our scriptures, our civilization, our lifestyle, the guidelines, everything is to make us remember and live both of it. So we're not missing out any of it. So you live your the complete life, have your spiritual component and what we call now as a human component also. So when you look at it this way, now this understanding that was very prevalent in earlier times is lost to us through time due to various reasons. One is due to destruction of our traditional knowledge bases, due to invaders, due to overall degradation that has happened because of all of this. And what we see now, what we understand now, is a legacy of the thinking, the ideas, the philosophies of the Macaulay system of education, which has taught us not our tradition, not the sciences from our tradition, but to question it, because they have destroyed all the knowledge, destroyed all the knowledge sources, destroyed all the scientific background for our tradition, our living. So it's easy to put questions because they know we cannot give answers because they've all been burnt out. Just like how Nalanda University was burnt, all the books were burnt. Many of the Ayurvedic colleges that were here, if you look at history, when the East India Company first landed here, they recorded themselves over 200 Ayurvedic colleges and medical institutions around the world, around India, that served different that covered the entire geography of the country and took care of all the people in that area. So they had a beautiful system. If you actually read it, you will see how sophisticated the system was, how precisely it was tuned to ensure every seasonal health care was taken care. People were treated with such sensitivity that it is actually mind-boggling. That even today we are still yet to achieve with the modern science. So From that to when the British left the country, we just had 5 colleges, 5 Ayurvedic medical institutions, and the whole thinking of the people was during this duration was to erode the faith and the strength of their own system, so it was easy to question, make us doubt our own sciences, our own tradition, our own knowledge, our own civilization, lifestyle, everything. So all of the ideas that we have currently floating around are a legacy of this, which we have, which they left behind. So it is time for us to get back to our roots, not because they are our roots, of course that would make sense too, but because they are the truth. They are the truth, and how will you know that's the truth? Because when you experience it, when you live it, you experience it, and that tells you whether it is truth or not. So it is like this. You hear about people, go on about coffee and this coffee, that flavor and all that. But until you actually drink your coffee and experience whether it's true for you or not, it is just hearsay. So the same way, all what I'm saying may sound like a nice to know, nice to have, nice to believe, but is it true? You have the doubt. So how do you establish it? By experiencing it. Because the beauty of our tradition, the Hindu tradition, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma is, it is an experiential path. It does not have blind faith. In fact, it does not advocate blind faith. It advocates intelligent faith. Faith built on intelligence, experience, and the strong foundation of both, which gives you the grounding to face questions like this, which try to make you doubt your own self. So I just wanted to answer this part of it first. And so the second part of the question was, do I worship a human as God? So this comes from the same source that I was talking to earlier, a legacy of the British, a legacy of their thinking, their understanding of life, spirituality, and their utter non-understanding of the Indian systems of thought and ideas and lifestyle. So I just wanted to say this one thing first. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we believe everything is sacred, everything is divine. The consciousness that created this world has also manifested as the world. So everything we see is divine. That is why you will find that we consider trees, we worship trees, we worship even stones, we worship mountains, because they are not just matter or material or some inanimate thing, but they are also consciousness. And it is from this understanding and this experience that all of its traditions have evolved, and we have such beauty and richness that is so very unique to this land. I'm just going to take a pause to let the noise pass through. So when you see it, that you will, it also has very advanced sciences which have been lost for us, which have just remained in the books, and which we have studied as the Puranas. Now reviving that is what Swamiji is here to do, because he went through the whole process of learning, understanding, fine-tuning, testing, and doing research to make it available for all of us. Now why should anybody do that? What is the reason? What is the purpose? It is because he is here on the mission to revive this whole tradition, to give us back that lifestyle, to bring back that life, the living, bring out higher consciousness in all of us, so we can all, okay, I'm going to take a pause for now to let the noise pass through. That is his avataric mission. That's the reason why he came down to this planet. And in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which is one of the best and the most ancient and the only living tradition, we have the signs of the divine descending to the planet for a certain purpose. So that is why we have avatars like Sri Rama, Krishna, and many of the others in our scriptures. And Swamiji is an avatar as per Hindu tradition, and all that we do is just show our respects to him in the way as according to our tradition has described. So this is more an answer I want to give for those who are come from a space or from a lack of understanding of what it is. But for those who wish to abuse, I think it is high time you grow up and become mature and try to expand your understanding to finding out why people are doing what they're doing instead of just being judgmental and writing them off. So on that note, and I hope to share a lot of the sciences, a lot of the scientific reasons behind everything that we do here, whether it is the clothes we wear, whether it is the sacred ash or the bindi that you see, whether it is this Rudraksha, everything has a reason, a science and an experience to support it. So I will be sharing all of those in my subsequent videos. So thank you for listening. Nityanandam.